Okay, we are up on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. And we should be live here on Facebook as well in a minute. So we've got a few people on TikTok joining us. So pretty much what we discuss here is just tarot, astrology, magic, and the occult. Trying to see if we can get a few other people to join us here and get everybody the link here so they can join on Zoom if they don't mind everybody else being able to see their face. All right. So everybody should now have the link to be able to join in on Zoom. All right. So I think we might be having some technical difficulties on Facebook, but otherwise we should be up and running just about everywhere else. So we got Chris joining us on Facebook. How's it going, man? And I'm hoping tonight we can get some good conversation going. So I'd like to be able to discuss other things than just astrology and card reading. So either that or you'll have to install the Zoom app on your phone. And then you should be able to just click on the link. And then once you got the app installed, it should let you join from your phone. So I'm doing all right. So I guess I will, while we're waiting for people to join, it's like I'll just go over the different decks that I have with me today. Now, this one, it's the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And I got this off of Wish for like $5. So it did not come with the booklet at all. So I need to try to see if I can track down a booklet for this, but it's kind of interesting. They're round cards. So I'm still trying to figure that one out. Chris is saying that he's naked, so he's not going to join us on Zoom. Then I've got my David Bowie Starman Tarot deck. I should probably back up a little bit. So this one is my personal favorite that I have right now. And then some of the ones that we were using last week, the old standbys. We got the John Holland Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. Got the Barbary Zodiac Oracle deck. Got the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. And then I have the Viking Oracle deck with me as well. So okay, and then don't mind me. I am just messing with some settings here, making sure that everything is working. Okay, we got Canoted joining us on Twitch. And we got CJ joining us there on Instagram. How's it going, CJ? What you got for me today? So, I'm hoping that you guys can help me out a little bit today, because I don't know. I guess I'm feeling like my magic is drained a little bit. So I've been exerting myself quite a bit lately. And I just don't feel in the usual groove that I should normally be in. Don't feel as in tune as I normally would be. So I guess anybody else that's like tuning in right now, you guys tell me for a change. You know, what's going on? What planet is fucking up my shit today? So CJ saying, blocked a shit ton of toxic people out of my life. Deactivated Facebook for a while. Big sigh of relief. So, it's like I'm feeling you with that one. Although I don't think I'd be able to get away with deactivating my Facebook for too long, because, well, that's how everybody keeps tabs on everybody. And CJ saying, Earth is the planet that's fucking up my shit today. So CJ, do you have the link to join us on Zoom? I will go ahead and post that link again. So I can, Florence is saying, I don't know your chart. Well, here. January 30th, 1981, 5:43 p.m. Vancouver, Washington. There you guys go. Can have a go at it. Tell me why I am messed up. But in the meantime, let's see if I can get a good idea of what might be going on in the universe. So now from last week to this week, we are now officially in Aries season. I don't know that I'm feeling any different as far as that goes. Oh, Venus is in Aries as well, so okay, that's going to be fun. So Florence is saying we got Leo Moon squared Uranus right now. So that's a fun combination, because Uranus has been hanging out in Taurus for the last while. So So that's a lot of conflicting energies there with a Leo moon squared Uranus right now. That's, very like, that fiery, like active Leo energy versus the very subdued low energy from Uranus. So wonder if that could be part of what's going on here. Because, that's very much like the, feeling like got to get up and do something, that like not being productive enough, not like accomplishing enough. But with that with Uranus in the picture, it's, I want to say that's kind of, how would that exactly affect everything that's going on right now? How's it going, Will? Will's joining us on Facebook. I will give you guys the link to join on Zoom again here. It's like Florence says she has so much to say. It's like, well, once you get Zoom up and running, join us, and, like, share your thoughts here. Because I am feeling just a major block today. I don't know. I think I might have broken my third eye somehow. So we got Winty33 joining us on TikTok. So how's it going there, Winty? What questions do you have for us today? And Chris wants to know, when was the last time that I was naked under the stairs? Oh, naked under the stars. Oh. When was the last time that I was naked under the stars? It's been a good while. Like I could say, I could count a few times recently where I've been mostly naked under the stars, but not like fully naked. So I'd say last time that I was, So okay, well, I guess this would be a good topic to bring up. So yeah, it was this past September. We did Florence says, okay, Uranus is coming for your Chiron while Saturn sits in your south node and Sun. Jupiter on your Mars. I'm not entirely sure how to decode this right now. But the way that you say that, it sounds like bad news. So yeah, this past September we did a primal screaming ritual, and I think we need to do another one sooner rather than later. Like, but as far as the last time that I was naked under the stars, well, I wasn't fully naked, but with that, the whole thing was to be able to, everybody was tapping into that, into their primal energies and being able to just like let go of whatever they were holding on to and whatever negative energies they were carrying with them. And with that, it was just a lot of catharsis, a lot of just screaming, yelling, whatever everybody needed to do in order to just be able to get it out. And with that, there were a few people that decided to go full primal. And so it's like all the clothes came off and everything. But then the end of the night, we were all covered in mud and lost our voices. But we have Florence joining us on Zoom now. We got Carla joining us on Facebook. So how's it going over there, Carla? And guess we are just waiting for Florence's audio and video to connect. Yeah, we're almost there. No, I'm doing all right, Carla. Just a little bit of a funk today. It's like I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but
Hi. I got it.
Hey. All right, we got Florence with us.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
Let me take these off so I can see your chart.
All right. So for those of you just joining in, Florence is kind of going over my chart a little bit. It sounds like bad news so far.
No, but you can see, I wouldn't exactly explain it as bad news. Yet, this could be, let me think of the wording. This can be the exact stop sign maybe that you can utilize for the next 18 years of structure and development that you were largely directed to in 2017 and was shown points into. And now you gain opportunity for all of your natural drive, which is beautiful for us meeting with the moon crossing over your north node during these transits.
Okay, now it's kind of funny that you said 2017 because that was quite the monumental year for me, but you said that there was something that you were seeing there in like a cycle that would have started in 2017?
Yeah, you were having a nodal return. So the north and the south node is going to indicate our past life and where we're supposed to go for this life's future to evolve. And you're actually born with a south node sun conjunction. So in order for you to evolve, you are to be a spiritual leader. Okay, there's so much demographic here. Especially like seeing your value systems that have been shifting out for you the last 2 years significantly on a day-to-day are breaking you out of the old mundane tasks that have kept you, and there's like a liberation point coming in. And in order for you to fully move into your higher quality of goals, it's kind of like all of your sensitive wounds are being ripped open and you're able to emerge, especially with this Leo. It's almost like you're finding another place in yourself. Like today has been a rough day all over. Everybody in the world woke up with moon square Uranus. That like put an immediate friction in the air. And so with you having your Mars being 24 degrees Aquarius and Jupiter's approaching that spot, it's an expansion for you. And also this is going to bring up and connect you to others that you can network with so that you can bring in this communication, because you're a good, like if you look at your chart, how can I show you your chart. I wish that I could see, I need to have more technical awesomeness because I want to be able to do a screen share and show your chart so that I can be showing you what I'm looking at.
Oh, well, let me see if I can. Okay. All right, so. Okay, you are now the host, so now you should have the ability to screen share.
Oh, snap. Okay. Let's see. Let's come in here. Will you tell me your birthday just real fast so I don't have to look?
Yeah, it's January 30th, 1981.
At what time?
5:43 p.m.
Vancouver. I think that's how you spell it. Okay. Okay. So can you see my screen?
I cannot.
You don't see that chart?
You have the little like share screen option down at the bottom.
Let's see. Okay, right here. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and I can see us too. I forget that you guys can see me.
All right.
Okay, awesome. So here's your chart. Right now in the sky, we have planet Pluto of transformation orbiting your Venus, which has been changing out your values on a day-to-day. You have planet Saturn right here on your south node in the sun, bringing structure to possibly the old ways that you were a little unorthodox in that setting. That's going to gain you more responsibility, because since this conjunction point has been happening, I bet you've had a lot of opportunities come through. And in order for you to take and utilize this world in a day-to-day, it's actually challenging against those wounds and values for long-term transits, where this is like where your goals are. Like Uranus has been moving over here, redirecting you almost to a new mission. So with you showing up right now, while Moon is here, you're like in this fixed square about day-to-day and partners and who you're meeting with spirituality, with the way that you have been rebuilt, especially since July over in through even till now, for the redirection for this even to happen. So as this space continues to open up, it's going to launch you positively with a higher quality to connect. So all of this right here is Gemini. This is communication. We have North Node right now and Mars moving through this, connecting you for higher resources, because part of your career and how you can give to the people is bringing about a better value system and connecting for communication. Yeah, it's part of your destiny. Like, it's very beautiful. As you tap into this 12th house node, where Moon is crossing right now, it's actually helping you claim, hi, I am here. We're doing like this spiritual connection show. And then look down here, you go to your 3rd house. I mean, you're built to talk. You're built to bring people together. I've never looked at your chart before until the second, so like I hadn't even made it all the way through your 3rd house, and I'm like seeing our synastry and how, you know, the south nodes actually bringing you through all of this Sagittarius as well, like releasing of old hobbies and energy and direction there from 2012 to especially realign you, so now you can reach all these people with a lot of wisdom. You know that, but that doesn't always make it easy. Yeah, especially when you wake in the sky and you're having like your 12th house squaring that 9th and 10th. If I want to go out in public today.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do I want to go out in public today?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to like take it all in right now.
Well, especially like to just be blasted with that when we never even planned for
Yeah.
this. Yeah. It could
No,
be
which is awesome because I just like started up the stream today and I'm like I guess my mind was too much in like the whole like okay, I got to like make everything work perfectly on the technical end and then it starts going like I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
I love it. I love that you give opportunity to be here.
So, but yeah, this is quite in depth and quite impressive. It's and then I guess for those that are watching that aren't quite sure what we're looking at here, we're looking at my natal chart currently, and guess yeah, you definitely have a lot more experience with this than I do. Although like one of the things that you pointed out that I try to focus on a little bit, and whenever somebody's asking me to like read their natal chart for them, is going to be the north node, south node. So
Yeah.
see, those wind up getting overlooked quite a bit, but yeah, it's past life, destiny. So those are kind of important things, but I guess I still haven't figured out like the entire like gravity of my north node. Did we just die?
Communication went out, huh?
I think it. Yeah, I think it just the connection went wonky, and I couldn't hear you there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to look to nodes. You want to pay attention to Chiron, because when one can go into Chiron, it's going to unlock the key to their chart. It's always going to be the most tender space that everybody wants to avoid. But when you take it head on, you're literally able to go in, unlock it, and free the soul.
So and then what are we looking at here? So Chiron, that's Taurus and in the 10th house.
It is 13 degrees. That can also make for like, you have the ability to be your own boss through your communication skills. You have power, intellect, naturally very fair, a lot of skills that you can cover. It is a caution to be stuck in shitty jobs that lessen your value because you have what it takes with all of this north node that you go into, because you've learned it amongst the people, you've learned it from the groups. You're naturally built to be a revolutionist. Now it's just time to show up and give it. Yeah. You have your wizard mastery with this north node and moon in Sag.
So now it's just trying to figure out how to unlock it all and how to be able to present information in some manner in which it actually connects with other people.
I get that. It's I'm an 84 baby, so I'm not like far behind you. And it has taken years of to decipher. I also have Jupiter third house. Jupiter third house shows, where a person has a lot of information that they can share. And mine is in Capricorn. So it's almost like it's a duty. And so these last 2 years, as we've been having these heavy hits of Capricorn energy blowing apart my mental body for communication and networking, I actually see here now this is fun. There's so much that I want to go into with you, but it's like, do we do an on-screen live, all of it, or or how do?
I'd say go for it. Nobody else is like throwing any questions or anything at us, so.
It's almost like you're indebted with karma for it. You have Saturn retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, Pluto retrograde. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It just puts even more of a karmic emphasis on the gifts that you came with the dynamic and the structure that you are to build with relationships in your environment to bring this out to the world. And it's almost like for a portion of your life, it has been withheld. And it could have also been seen as like overlooked if you were not in balance with yourself or in your environment. So your environment needs to have that balance. Quality partners. Like you're unique. You already know this, but I have to go through, right? There's a lot of your fifth and fourth house energies that will be releasing in the next, through this last almost 9 months, and specifically moving into the next year and a half, that is going to free up opportunity for you to hit more of this 11th and 10th house energy. So your career is really going to start transitioning and changing and taking on a higher quality of network if you allow it.
It's like, which would be awesome. Getting a weird echo here. Okay, let's try that. So yeah, I mean, really, heading into this year, the only, I guess the big focus that I've had has really been career and wanting to be able to get out of the rat race. And I guess that was like my New Year's resolution, so to say, was saying, okay, well, 2021, if I don't get out of the rat race entirely, I at least want to set things in motion to where I can eventually make a living on my own and not have to be under the thumb of the under the thumb and under the oppression of the man. So we're seeing things starting to head in that direction a little bit, but it's ups and downs. But that's been my primary focus really this year. So,
well, you know, the Leo full moon, January 31st, was right about on top of your Venus. So the energy released out of the cycle of your day-to-day schedule blocking and everything that came through that finished out, it would have started January 2020. And then when you go through all of this last year, then January 31st breaks you apart for everything coming in now that will help you with that. And then you return to that space this November through January, because Venus is going to be retrograding on your natal Venus, heads up. So the value systems and all of the structures that you have been letting go of for the last 2 years are going to come back and basically welcome you into a whole new cycle and structure that's going to last you well over the next 28 years. And it's gonna feel a lot better and liberating for you, because I see the positive in your chart, and clearly we would not be here if you weren't in the higher aspects. But this 24 Capricorn Venus, that is where Pluto is only at 26 Capricorn right now. So as Venus comes back and retrogrades, it's going to change out. So like everything that's been transitioning kind of culminates in that area for you. And that's the natural house of the 10th house. Because in order to decipher astrology, you got to go layers on layers on layers on layers.
yeah.
Where you may not know that, but if anybody's listening to us, I didn't want them to be like, wait, what? 10th house?
So when you said that Venus is going to retrograde on my natal Venus.
Yes. Yeah, you're a 24 Capricorn Venus, and Venus, when I believe it's either the end of November or into December. I write a daily blog, and I've already pulled the transit. So like I believe it's between December and January, and you'll be feeling it, which is interesting because can I point out something else, the heavy transit coming?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So Saturn and planet Uranus. So Uranus has been sitting right here, coming for your Chiron. So all the tender wounds and the places that you possibly have avoided your whole life to take on in this 10th house, planet Uranus has been coming since 2018 significantly and has just been eradicating this to help revolutionize so you can pull into this division that you're now set for. Well, Uranus at Christmas time, at the same time that Venus is retrograding over your Venus, you're going to have planet Saturn at 11 degrees Aquarius, and you're going to have Uranus at 11 degrees Taurus, exactly squaring your natal aspects to see if you're karmically endowed with the rite of passage from the South Node Sun, and to liberate you into this new aspects and value system that you have been gaining.
So it sounds like this Christmas I better prepare to meet 3 ghosts.
Well, they've already squared once, and then they square a second time this summer, and then they culminate after Christmas. So, like, if the rest of the year pressurizes in, just know that after January, you have a lot of more aptitude that will be reached.
So, little bit overwhelmed, to be honest.
That's okay. Just I see. It's all good. It's all good. I know I'm self-muting now. Because we can even go into energy to shift up, you know. We could even, if anybody else is on a live, we can go into energy that way as well.
So I think we have a few people that are just watching right now, but nobody really like throwing anything at us or really participating. So we've either gone completely over their head or they're just drinking this up right now.
Which is awesome. We could bring it every Wednesday at 7. Who wants their chart done?
Well, that's pretty much what I've set up. It's just every Wednesday at 7, like whoever wants to join in the conversation, whether we're talking astrology, divination, tarot, oracle readings, just magic and the occult in general.
I love it.
But trying to figure out ways to make it more interactive because, yeah, like sometimes I can sit there and be able to like ramble for an hour and keep everybody entertained. But then there's days like today where I'm just like, okay, guys, somebody else take the ball and run with it because I got nothing.
It's great. It's because they're opening you up. They're opening you up. That's good. There's going to be more flexing in because of it.
So can we talk about my Venus and Capricorn here for a second? Because that's a joke that I've kind of made about my own chart. As I say, that's just like the one thing that makes absolutely no sense. Well, that I guess we got Capricorn if we got Venus in Capricorn, and then my Uranus is in Scorpio, but like everything else is just entirely like air signs and fire signs. And then I've just got like that Venus in Capricorn that decides that it's going to mess everything up. So I don't know.
That is what helps you gain the material. That is what helps you make it to the top. Because without this Venus, because see the Capricorn's overlay in Virgo. So that's going to be a grounding that will hold you responsible and grounded enough on a day-to-day that you didn't float away. So you would hold it together enough, not saying that you couldn't hold it together, but that with all that air to where you would make the climb, because 10th house is original home of Capricorn. So through your duties and putting your heart into it and through all these day-to-days, you are able to unlock this 10th house where if they wouldn't have had it aligned with your Venus and Capricorn, perhaps because Venus rules Libra, which look at this stellium that you have in Libra, and Venus rules Taurus, and that's where Chiron is at for you, is in Taurus. So both of your Venus ruled signs are already in heavy emphasis, and so your Capricorn heart helps ground you into reality to where you make the climb so that you can execute all this past life to where you hit this node and take your pride to where all of this mental stimulation and forth-reaching and genius insight that you have and that you can bring to relationships, you're able to streamline in and open up and help rebirth the confines and the structures of all the prior generations to bring out all of this wisdom that you have through your communications with reaching the people.
Like, and Will says he's probably the only one out of the loop. Let's be honest. It's like, haha, me caveman. It's like, nope, no, bro. It's like we're going right into the thick of it. So this is kind of a crash course.
Yeah,
going right down, going right straight down the rabbit hole. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of, I do see that we do have people that are watching, but you're probably not the only one that's feeling that way. And it's like, and the information that's being presented to me right now, it's overwhelming for me. So like, I can imagine, like, especially anybody that has never had a natal chart reading or
even is aware that there's natal charts. It's the cosmic ingredient of your specific blend at the exact snapshot time that you were born. We don't come with instructions, but we have natal charts.
Well, and I always joke, like, your natal chart is kind of like your instruction manual. It's they say that there's not your blueprints. They say that, there's not an instruction manual for life. And I'm like, well, there's a natal chart that gets pretty close.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to be able to interpret it. And well, and it's like, and I seriously appreciate you taking a look at this, because I mean, everybody that like actually knows what they're doing, you get a group of astrologers together and they're all looking at the same natal chart, and they'll all like focus in on something completely different and like pull something else out of it that the other astrologers might have missed.
Yeah. When you're having a moon trine your moon while conjuncting South Node, that is Chinese. Yet my point to that is your North Node is basically, and your rising is basically where the moon is right now. So emotional support right now is changing out the way you come off to others. Okay. But then look, we have South Node on your natal moon, releasing old adventures and the old, like almost like the old roots that you were heavily tethered to in 2012, especially, yet that's the liberation point that you needed in order to free you up for this revolution to the new goals.
Yeah, which I'm trying to think what happened in my life in 2012 that might have been like, so I don't think there was yeah, you mentioned 2017. That definitely was an earth-shattering, life-changing year for me. So I know.
Well, it was just like the foundation and root system and like hobbies that would come through and now release, and you'll see it most prevalent in your moon, in your emotions through these next couple months, especially with the eclipses coming, because you already went through an eclipse right here at 8 degrees Sag, 8 degrees Gemini, November 30th. And now we're connecting back energies, and the South Node's moving through this space while you're a fire moon and the moon's at fire. And then we have Venus and Sun in Cassimi. They're closing almost to a Cassimi point right now, and Chiron in the sky, all up here in the 9th house, saying if you're going to take and go to a new level, and if you're going to take and go to this new world, it's up to you to follow all of this passion, especially the 2017 passion that would have tied you to a root connection in 2012 to refine that. It's going to take a little bit of you letting that go, make room, but you're headed into new port. And you're especially going to see it once this Venus retrograde culminates and Uranus passes this Chiron point with square to here. So by next year at this time, it's even going to be funny, if we could just even culminate again. I'm sure we'll meet before then, but even next year at this time, just to say, hey, remember our first Zoom meeting? when it was Venus and Sun exactly conjunct in Aries. Interesting.
Oh, it's a lot of interesting information here, and I'm just
yeah.
So I guess I'm trying to like dissect this, and it just sounds like in general, it's like I'm in for a bit of a bumpy ride for the next little while, but a lot of that is, and it's, well, I definitely felt a transformation coming, but it's asking myself the question like, okay, well, how do I step into this? How do I embrace this? Like, what is this transformation going to look like?
It's
So,
going to look like you no longer identifying in lower valued situations, and that you would actually unlock your true quality and worth. You would own the skill, yet look at them as just stop signs, because it's literally just a stopping area so that you can gain strength and skill to grow. And you know that. I just have to say it.
so
I wonder,
yeah,
do you have any plans of moving in the next year?
Ish. So that is something that's, I mean, kind of been on my plate for a while. It's, I mean, my living situation, it's not bad, but you know how I said like 2017 was a major transformative year,
Mm-hmm.
and things finally started getting better for me towards the end of 2017 when I moved in where I am now. It's like, and you know, couldn't ask for a better roommate, but it is also like, I need my own space. I need, I just want to be able to like hang art on the walls and be able to like do my own thing, and you know, not have to worry about, you know, interfering with my roommates or, you know, my roommates' kids or anything like that. So, but just the way that things have been playing out with work in the economy and everything, it's okay, well, one of two things needs to happen. Either A, I need to be making a lot more money so that I can afford a place, or rent needs to become a lot less expensive.
Yeah.
Either that, or um, I guess that is one of the upsides with my day job, is that I could pretty much relocate to anywhere, just as long as I've got a good internet connection, I can keep working. So very likely possibility I might not even stay in Salt Lake. So
Well, down where I live, the internet works selectively.
so yeah, we'll see how that plays out, but I guess a lot of that is, you know, that's one of the reasons I've been throwing myself into work so much, and why I took the second job is it's trying to put money away for things like being able to eventually get a more reliable car, be able to get a place of my own. Just feel
And
like I'm kind of,
2018 and 2019 would have started that heavily when we had Venus and Mercury come through these spots.
oh yeah, that was 2018, 2019. That's the start of the rebuilding. 2017 was just everything had fallen apart and just scrambling to keep afloat and trying to find like stable ground to be able to start rebuilding. But it's like, it does feel like it is trying to rebuild an empire just one brick at a time, and going very slowly and trying to find like the right connections in order to really set things in motion.
Well, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that. So yeah, and then we had 2020 that kind of like threw a wrench into everybody's plans, really.
Yeah. But like, how amazing is it that it actually brought everybody closer? Like, the irony, stay 6 feet apart, but those who are in your immediate space, it was almost like it was to bring us closer or to break us apart. Mothers went home to their children. Like, it changed on a bigger picture, it changed such a dynamic for the root system to all of America. Because like, if you adjust the chart, the natural base layer chart rises as Aries, and that puts Cancer home in the 4th house. And we were eclipsing between the 4th house and the 10th house. And the 10th house is where you go out in the world. The 4th house is where you go home. When all of that kicked in, we were releasing 10th house and going into 4th house. So it was kind of fun to watch it unfold where everybody went home. And now we're all jumping on technology to communicate. Look, I got to meet you. Yeah, I love connecting with individuals. I had a session come through all the way from Canada not too long ago, and it was just so fun. Like, great opportunity.
Oh yeah, and it's, I guess with my work that I do on the side, it's been mostly just locals, and like local events and things like that. But having to shift gears and everything with what happened with COVID, it's a lot of the people that I work with now, it's from all over the place. So
Yeah, and you're just gonna get bigger.
oh, that's it's like that warms my heart to hear it, but also it's like, well, I mean, that's the end goal anyway.
Yeah, you meet it. You meet it. That's what this year's about. It's to break you out of it. It's true.
So poor Will, he's saying he lost everything in 2020. Like,
Oh,
it's like, I am so sorry, bro. I think it was a tough year for a lot of us, but
did it reconnect you to your soul and core roots?
it's like I don't know, Will, what do you think about that? It's like, if you're still with us there. I don't know. I think for me, I feel like it's put me in a situation now to where I guess that is the quest now is, what are my core roots? Like, what is my soul exactly?
Right. That's where I know that I was shifted as well. And it was like, even it's just quality over quantity, literally. Like, rather it's partnerships, it's engaging, it's what you've got to choose to purchase, where you're putting your attention. It's definitely a Uranus and Taurus revolution. Yeah.
So, Will saying he lives in a trailer in the middle of nowhere with no running water.
Wow.
It's like what you're saying previously though, that you're enjoying that life though, right? Well,
I could see the upside. Is there an opportunity for a well?
so says that it's definitely put him on his path and his end goal. It's like he wants to be off the grid.
Good for you. Solar panels, recycling water, planting your own plants.
So it says he does have access to water.
Yeah, that's not the worst way of living.
Yeah, and I think, in general, I mean, when we take a look at what was happening astrologically throughout all of 2020, we had like this crazy season where it was, I want to say, I was it in some point in June, I believe we had like 7 planets all in retrograde at once.
We did have, we would have had Pluto, Saturn, but at that time we had Venus retrograde in Gemini as the North Node was entering Gemini. And we have not had Venus retrograde in Gemini since 2012. And at that time we had South Node there. So that was a big game changer to the dualistic nature of a value system as well.
So just everything about like the astrological makeup of 2020, it was very much breaking us down, like what you were saying, stop signs.
It's like, wait, nope, this isn't your destiny. This is your destiny. Hold on to this spot. Come over here.
What's the word? Reassess.
Yeah.
So it's like very, very, and I'd say really it's anybody that went through 2020 and can say I am the same person that I was when 2020 started, I think you lost the game.
Yeah,
Like if,
I will feel good to say I grew and changed significantly. Yeah.
so
And still there.
but I guess now it's there's a light at the end of the tunnel now, but with that it's okay, we're not going back to normal, quote unquote
No,
normal. It was, well, the old normal didn't work anyway. So
no.
so a lot of this is it's I guess it's another stop sign right now. It's we know things are going to change. What's that change going to look like? What's the new normal going to be?
When it's like it's the liberation points and the change out of values too that we're fluxing between all year, and that's why we have those 3 square points where each one of us are going to gain opportunity to choose a higher value system. Are we going to take it? It first came in February, it's coming back in June and July, and then it hits us for the final in December. So as we're facing all of these flexes, it's like, are you scaling and measuring so that you can liberate and actually activate, or are you just going to go to the lower embodiment? Because there's always the duality in aspect. So are you going to make use, or are you going to fall to the victim? Because all of us have that in us, right?
Oh yeah.
And Pluto is still finishing out what started in 2020, like the strong thicket of 2019 2020 until 2024. And so there was a day where I was given a vision, and it was literally the skeleton, the exoskeleton, how it comes down and tapers on the body, that as the 2024 comes, each barrier just keeps breaking, and then it smolders. And in 2027, if you go to human design, it's known as the rising of the Phoenix era. And they literally showed how all faulty falls by 2024, and it's almost like a warning to, if everyone feels like it's just in the middle of the rubble, to stay patient, because that's the alchemy that ascends 2027 into launch.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's a long time out. Yeah, is it really?
Well, I don't know. It's like 7 years seems like a long time, but you'd be surprised how quickly it goes by.
Yeah. Yeah. Value system will be completely eradicated by then. And then we'll be into future technologies. Well, where we can be like pulling graphs down.
Well, and it's interesting. You keep saying like value systems and like future technologies, and I've heard a lot of speculation about like, well, the big shift happening this past December when we had like the big Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in Aquarius, and a lot of people saying, okay, well, this is it, guys. We're in the age of Aquarius now. This is the value systems are going to change. Like different technologies are going to be like coming out like crazy. And we're going to have to like look at new ways to connect and new ways to view the world and new ways just to think about everything in general.
Well, yeah, you see, Saturn's going to be in this Aquarius zone for the next 2 years. And then Uranus needs to finish out Taurus that completes the revolution of value system for another 5. And then look, that almost puts us to 2027.
So, and I've made a weird prediction there. And if it actually happens, like this will be one of my big, like, hey, everybody, I told you so moments, but I'm going to say there's going to be an Aquarius baby boom next year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So yeah, welcome to the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, like what month? I'm trying to do the technical math of what month they would need to be hunkering down to produce an Aquarius.
That's going to be late April through early May. So
it's like I'm thinking, oh, I want to look at the chart. Late April to early May just for fun. Yeah. It's like, where are we on that? Well, yeah, we'll be like, if you go to April 24th, you have Mercury and Venus conjuncting on Uranus. Woo. Okay. While Mars is in Cancer. So what does that mean? That just means that the mind and the heart will be meeting, and they're going to be in a Venus sign while Mars is going to be in a Cancer home sign. Yeah, I could actually see that could bring some canoodling. Everybody's going to be feeling like so sensual, and their emotional bodies and their passion is going to be so steamy. Okay.
So that, and I'm also predicting that that's right about the time in which, because I mean, everything with like the vaccines and whatnot, it's running ahead of schedule from what they were originally predicting. Because they were saying originally, well, we don't think everything's going to open up to like September, but now it's running ahead of schedule. So I think probably like late April, early May is when we're going to be seeing a lot more things opening up and a lot more people saying, hey, it's safe for people to go out and play at least a little bit, still, be responsible, whatnot, wear your masks and whatnot, but you have the green light now.
Yeah, they'll be ripping off their masks.
So Christopher's asking me, says, would you pull a card for me? It's like involving Ma and the name Tiru. Mostly need a yes or a no. Well, let's see what I got for you, man. Gonna say, well, you did give me like a whole lot to be able to like go off of here, but card that I'm pulling, I've got 10 of Wands. So if you're needing like a solid yes or a no, I guess context is important there. So I mean, story with 10 of Wands is really just, trying real hard to like keep it all together and kind of forcing you to ask. It's like, okay, well, something's gonna give at some point. You can't like you're juggling too much. It's like the traditional imagery of the 10 of Wands. You've got like this guy like with this bundle of sticks, and he's like trying really hard to like grasp all of them and hold them together, and you know that he's going to let go of something at some point. So I don't know, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just not to overstep you, but when he asked for a card pull, I looked over and seen my cards, and so I just blew and shuffled a couple too, and immediately this one fell out. But I was not gonna say anything. I was just gonna like just roll with it. But then when you pulled the 10 of Wands, and here's the 9, and it jumped out, and the 8 of Swords, I don't know if you can vibe anything onto that, and I'll let you talk. But if you can connect both of those with what came through for you, that's what jumped out of the deck.
It's like, I don't know that I'm getting a connection there.
Okay.
Like, what are your thoughts?
Well, it was totally the 8 of Swords connecting with the 10 of Wands of holding too much responsibility. It's almost like it's a self-bondage. Like, is it something karmic? Is it bringing passion? Or is it something that needs to go to an ending? So I was able to tie it, yes, to your 10 of Rods.
Says it's another project he's getting into. So lots of other players. So I guess if, 10 of Wands with that saying, okay, well, this is another project that you're getting into. I guess now is probably the time to ask yourself, like, are you juggling too much? Do we have too many projects going on? It's like I forget who it was that said, but I want to say it was probably like Tony Robbins that said, we really like sit down, figure out what are your main priorities. It's like, if you've got more than 3 main priorities, then you've got no priorities.
Dripping water.
So let's say, priorities that I'm going to be spending most of my time on. I think it's okay to have like little hobbies on the side and whatnot that you dabble in, but if you don't have those three main things sorted out, then you're just going to be constantly juggling things, going from one thing to another and feeling like you're just spinning your wheels, not accomplishing anything.
Very true.
So,
burning the candle at both ends. Make sure it's your passion. Make sure it's something that you resonate in your core so that you're just not showing up for something that's not going to show a return. That's not just going to put you in bondage.
right. Then we got Steel Blue on Twitch asking us to pull a card for them, saying, trying to know where to go. Should I be bold or should I just go with the flow? So, the card that I pulled for you is the Nine of Swords reversed. And that tells me be bold, be daring, be brave in this situation. Nine of Swords, Nine of Swords typically it's kind of like a nightmare situation of just like all of like worst case scenarios piling up. But once we reverse that, then it's saying like all of these nightmare situations, like all of the like worst case scenarios that we're coming up with, these are all just entirely in your head. And there's really nothing holding you back other than your own fear. So just go for it. They say, thank you. I'm a pretty bold person, so I just need to go with it. Yes. Okay. We got CJ asking for a card. You want to pull a card for CJ, Florence?
Yeah. These are mixed up.
Says, feels like there's a situation that I need to attend to, but also feels like there's something I'm overlooking before I act too fast.
I'm actually going to go to my astrology deck. And this is not shuffled, so I need to, if you want to pull, I'll tag on to you, or I will just take a second to shuffle this. And I get Chiron card, which is interesting. What did he mention? What did they ask for?
Says he feels like there's a situation that he needs to attend to, but he also feels like there's something that he's overlooking before he acts too fast.
Okay. Pay attention to this. It just isn't something that you are over identifying with and that you just have a fear of, because usually it's the most uncomfortable places when we go into them is where we gain the most. So that almost goes into a conundrum to answer that question, because it's like he answered the card that came. It almost seems as though you have the most wisdom needed. Just keep balance.
All right. And let me see if I can piggyback on that one. It's like the card that I got there is the High Priestess reversed.
Are you in your power?
So I'd say maybe that's the thing that you're overlooking. It's like, are you acting from within your power, or say there's a situation that you need to attend to? Like, are you like how are you
identifying with old wounds?
No, go for it.
Yeah, just always talk with me when I do that. I'm talking with you. I do have like this pain right here though. And earlier you had mentioned your third eye. And like, did you mean that? Because for the last little while, I keep having a surge of pain right here. And it just comes on almost like a beeper beacon. And it is not my own. It is too far to the right.
So, yeah, it's like I've been feeling like I want to say like a third eye blockage. So it's just it's been a weird, like, off, just kind of like sluggish day. Um and I guess part of it is like I'm feeling like maybe I've just exhausted my resources there and need to find like a better way to be able to ground and to be able to use my energy more efficiently, or find a better way to be able to better recharge.
Or you picked up a couple stragglers on your trip?
I'm not sure. I don't know that we really like went anywhere that I'd pick up any stragglers, but the only thing that I could think of is maybe like the Airbnb that we were staying in. Like they were a little bit forceful about their beliefs, and just a lot of smiling and nodding and trying not to like make a scene. I'm not going to disrespect anybody in their own house, but like,
We'll see if that feels better.
so.
Because it feels better on my end. Neat.
So, yeah, I am not entirely sure, but I will have to dig into that a little bit further and see if I can figure out like what's holding me back. And I'm going to take your advice there and see if I've caught on if there were any stragglers that tagged along. So it's weird at this point, because I found like with a lot of the work that I do, it's like if there is anything that like it, okay, this is going to be like really weird for some of you, but it's like the phrase that I use, for lack of a better term, I'm like, certain people have what I call the weirdness, and I can usually tell just by looking at somebody if they have the weirdness or not. And one of my roommate's daughters has the weirdness, and she started talking to me a little bit about some of the things that are happening, and she told me about the girl that lives down in the basement. Like, okay, this sounds ominous. It's like, I didn't know about this. Usually if something's going on, I'm the first person to know. And she says, well, she told me not to tell you at all, you in particular. I'm like, well, why not? And she said that, well, because she said that she's hiding from you because she knows that if you knew that she's down there, that you'd make her go away.
Right.
So
then did you make her go away?
I did. So it was just bad news, something that didn't belong there. So
right.
But I find like in a lot of situations like that where somebody asks me to come over and help them out with like a possible like spiritual thing happening in their house or whatnot, and they're like, okay, well, like normally it's like the spirits, they don't care who it is. It's like they'll just do their thing anyway, but like you show up and things just go dead.
They're like, no, he's gonna close the portals. Yeah, so, keep closing them portals.
Yeah, so at this stage I'm like, okay, if anything like it tagged along, it's they have to be sneaky. They definitely try to evade me and try to like slip under my radar anymore.
And just do a weapon so that it just like sits.
So
like a mental implant to try to get around.
So somebody's asking, okay, do you ever find that you have to help spirits? You say yes, but that is actually not my thing. So I actually have other people that I reach out to. If it's something where it's a residual haunt, I have other people that I'll reach out to and say like, hey, I need a medium, somebody that can like help whatever this is, pass over, pass over to the other side. But usually my methods are very much like the sheriff showing up with a shotgun and an eviction notice, just get out. So Okay, Steel Blue wants another card. Okay, you have like a specific question or? So just pulling a totally random single card is a thought for the topic of spiritual infestations. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I got, well, this is the David Bowie Starman Tarot deck. And so card number 1 is the Starman, and this would be the equivalent of the Magician. So as far as how that corresponds with no, it's, yeah, the Starman would actually be the that would be the Magician. So it's, yeah, because like card 0 is the Fool,
which is also goes to planet Pluto. And I got Saturn in 3rd house, which would go to maturity and rite of passage. It's time to speak up. Responsibility.
Yep. So it starts with number 0, which is the Fool, and then number 1 is the Magician.
And also the star, the sun.
Just, yeah, kind of cool. Like actually the whole tarot, it's if you're familiar with is it Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey, like that whole like plot device that pretty much every fantasy story tends to follow. And that's part of like when I'm teaching people how to read tarot, it's like I'll use that a lot. Like usually I'll go to like Lord of the Rings, because it's like the whole like tarot, it follows the hero's journey. It's the way that the story plays out in every one of those. So you have like card number 0 is, the Fool. It's, it's Frodo Baggins just going about its daily life, not a care in the world, just doing its thing. And then bam, card number 1 shows up. The Magician, Gandalf, shows up. It's like, now it's the call to action. I have a quest for you. And then it just kind of like continues from there. So anyhow, that was a bit of a tangent.
No, I was actually enjoying it because then I'm referencing it also to the codes of deciphering with the planets, because then it's like, well, then what comes forward? Like, I wanted you to actually keep going. That was a fun tangent. Because what comes after the Magician?
So then after the Magician would be the High Priest, if I remember right. I believe card number 2 is the High Priest. Yeah, no, the High Priestess. So like I'm trying to think, like using that Lord of the Rings analogy. I want to say like the High Priestess is like the moment where they all like meet Gladriel, and she kind of gives them all like a little bit of a gift. After the fellowship comes together, and they Gandalf kind of is basically cursed everybody with the burden of, we've got this ring, we all have to go to Mordor to get rid of it. Where's the first place that we're going to go to get like some insight as to what we need in order to be able to continue this journey? They go to the High Priestess.
And then that turns into the...
Yeah, and then from there you have the Empress and then the Emperor. And I want to say maybe it's a little bit out of order, because like yeah, I'd have to like sit down and really like sort it out a little bit better as to like, but yeah, if you really like think about it, like you can kind of connect the dots between like the cards and like different plot points
the
and
adventure.
Yeah, so fun. It's like whether card 0 is Frodo Baggins, and then card number 1 is Gandalf, or card 0 is Luke Skywalker, and card number 1 is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's the plot points. It's the hero's journey. It's the same plot that's told like over and over again, and in our fantasy literature.
Right. I was looking up a reference. I guess whatever. Yeah. To tie in with all of it. Because I was going to say, what position is the star? I'm having fun with I mixed so many systems at one time. Silence myself.
was gonna say, well, it's like the joke that I make is if I was really like that bent on sticking to dogma, I just would have stayed Mormon.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Like
Instead of just filling it all.
Yeah, it's like it, and okay, well, I mean, it's if whatever works for you, but I think more and more, it's yeah, my approach is very like non-dogmatic.
I love it.
Yeah. So, and I think there's a lot of us that kind of like tend to go that way. It's just picking a little bit of like a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this.
Keeping that balance.
Exactly. It's
like well, that Aquarius, don't go back, just serve two and keep going.
That, and there's also a kind of a like something that I found myself saying at one point that I guess there's been a lot of liberation with this as well, and that's just going through life with the realization that absolutely anything at this moment that I believe to be true could be proven wrong at any given moment.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's definitely held true as far as like the path that I've been going down, and trying to even, how would I even define the path at this point?
Define, such a big word.
Yep.
Yeah.
So okay, then we're being asked to drop our Venmos. So it's like, yep, I am an Aquarius. Then Florence, what are you?
I am a Virgo.
Virgo.
I'm an 11th house Virgo, though. 11th house is nature's home to Aquarius. So look at that mixture. Where your Aquarius actually starts in the 6th house. Which is interesting, because then that would mean that you're a Virgo Aquarius, and you're an Aquarius Virgo, and I'm a Virgo Aquarius. Does that make sense?
I'm not quite exactly sure how that works out. Then you're asking Aquarius season. Aquarius season would have been January 20th to February 19th.
Mm-hmm. Did you say we were asked to, was I supposed to do something?
Oh, they were asking for Venmo information so that they can tip us.
Oh, wonderful. Got you. I need to get on this other program.
Yeah, if there's a chat option here in Zoom, if you want to drop it there, then I can copy and paste.
Okay. I'm going to have to do it on the main, on my phone, where this is on the computer. I think this should work. Let's see how that goes through.
All right.
Even, I guess, if you take it and do something with it. Maybe that should connect it the right way. We hope. No.
So I think I got something here on Facebook, but actually the program that I'm using, we are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook all at once. So
it's a big one. Okay. I don't know that those are going through for me. So we'll just see. My Chiron's in Gemini. I sometimes have trouble with technology. And actually this last 8 degrees Gemini. So like that eclipse November 30th went off exactly on my Chiron. And then this last week, Mars has been cutting over it. So here we are pushing through.
And I guess the person that was asking for Venmo information there. So Steel Blue, you said you're a Gemini? So they're saying their mom is an Aquarius. It's like, what is the opposite of Aquarius? So opposite of Aquarius would be Leo.
Oh, I guess I can do this. Yes, Leo.
Which makes things interesting for me because like I'm Aquarius, but Leo rising. I'll say not a Gemini, they're a Leo. So
Ooh, what birthday of Leo?
yeah, Steel Blue, when's your birthday?
Black. I think that should work.
There we go. Okay.
She finally got it. Awesome.
Okay, there we go. So I just sent your Venmo to everybody.
Yeah, that was neat. Also, last week, how that lady joined in and we were able to piggyback off of her scenarios.
Oh yeah. So it's with this. I mean, really, it's I think most people just kind of like hang back and maybe comment here or there through either Facebook or YouTube or whatnot. But anybody that actually like wants to participate in the conversation, like we are now, then we've got the link there where they can. So yeah, anybody that wants to could jump in and join in on the conversation here on Zoom.
Awesome. Yeah, and if anybody wants to discuss any charting further, I do sessions. Not to be on here to promote myself, but literally, I mean, there's a lot of layers you can go down. That was just one.
Well, I mean, by all means, this is, part of the whole reason that we're doing this is for people to promote themselves. So promote away.
Yeah, well, like I just getting into your chart, it actually made me more passionate to be like, oh my gosh, what is this progressions looking like? I want to look at your lunar return. I want to look at your solar return. I like want to go in and do a full on, I want to reconnect with you again to go deeper.
It's like, well, I'm not hard to get a hold of at all. So
Okay, then we need to meet back up.
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, we're running about half an hour over. So
Well, this has been awesome.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Although now I'm wondering if I need to like change what time we're normally doing this because it seems like 7:30 to 8:30 we got a little bit more engagement than like normally than starting at 7. So might play around with that, try starting a little bit later and then see how that works. But yeah, we got some good engagement today though.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been nice.
So alrighty. So anybody that's like watching still, like I do this every week, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can join us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, or if you want to talk face to face, you can join us on Zoom as well. Should be awesome, getting more people like in a room and like actually like talking about stuff. So
and bouncing, yes,
bouncing ideas and whatnot. So
well, thank you.
All righty. All right. Well, take care, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Okay.